Mom? Mom? I search for my mom. Everything is dark in the house. I take the stairs down to the living room, stopping just as I reach the last step. Sss, sss. What was that? Who? It's coming from Mom and Dad's bedroom. Is Dad here? No, Dad's working late today. Then it's someone else. What are they doing? I should take a look. I'll just take a quick peek. Making up my mind, I descend the final step of the stairs. I quietly make my way into the hallway and towards the bedroom. Ah! The door is slightly ajar. I can just make out the silhouette of two figures pressing together on the bed. One, my mother, and the other, a slender body, tight waist, long black hair. A woman? I can see my mom's face over the figure's shoulder. That look in her eyes. Even as a child, I can understand what's happening just from the expression of her face. The figure on top of my mother's plants, a kiss on her neck. Ah! Mom? No! Run! The woman raises her head slowly, her gaze falling on me. Her skin is pallid and transparent. Her red lips paint a stark contrast to the pallor, like a blooming rose on a bed of white. A single red line trails from the corner of those lips, running down her neck and glistening on her collarbone. As the woman's lips curve into a smile, my consciousness is thrown into a dark abyss. Then, a voice rings through the depths. No! My mother's dying scream. Hey, Perplessa, it's time. A low, familiar voice calls out to me as someone shakes my body awake. Van, is it already time for patrol? Unfortunately, criminals don't just turn themselves in. Want some coffee? Yeah. Van hands over the disposable cup filled with coffee. Ugh, gross. It's Don, the police department signature espresso. It really packs a punch, doesn't it? I wouldn't call that an espresso. I stand up from my chair and stretch. After 3 days in this chair, I'm starting to miss my bed. You were tossing and turning. Had a bad dream? Yeah, I dream about the night Mom died. Again? When are you gonna get over that? As if I could. My mom had her neck pierced and her blood drained. That's a twisted way to murder someone, don't you think? And whoever did it to her is still alive and free. I won't let them get away. Your father said the same thing. He said he wouldn't retire from the force until he caught whoever killed your mom. But look at him now. He pushed himself too hard and got himself sick. I don't want to see that happen to you. If we finish the investigation today, I'll make sure to get some rest tomorrow. I'll hold you to that. Ready to head out? Yeah. There's hardly anyone out on the street at the end of the day. It's the same no matter where you go. It's the good old American Midwest. It's an old-fashioned town filled with old coots that still believe in ghosts and monsters. I've been hearing that kind of talk since I was a kid, even before my mother died. I always heard this town was full of monsters. I guess that rumor has been around long enough that people want to stay inside once night falls. Yeah, but there are more and more kids these days that don't care about those fairy tales. You mean the kids, that little street gang? I don't think they'll cause any trouble. They're just hanging out. You sure about that? They've been acting strange lately. Did something happen? Ah! What was that? I'm going to go check it out. Poor Plessa, wait for me. With Van behind me, I race toward the source of the scream. We find ourselves in an alley sandwiched between two buildings. It's pitch black. I can't see anything further in. I'll go first. Back me up. Keep your eyes sharp. I'll be fine. I've done the drills. With careful steps, we move deeper into the alley. We find someone lying on the ground. Are you all right? What happened? No answer. A male. He looks to be in his 30s, carrying a backpack. Might be a tourist. He isn't breathing. I'll check his pulse. Touching the man's neck, my fingertips brush against something wet. Blood? Looking at his posture, it seems the man has been trying to crawl, maybe away from something. Closer, I find 2 puncture wounds on his neck. His blood continues to drip from the wounds. The body is still warm. They can't have gone far. Pulling out my gun, I quickly stand up to search the surrounding area. I don't sense anyone hiding in the shadows. It should be a dead end up ahead. Doesn't look like there's anywhere to hide. There doesn't seem to be anyone further down the alley either. Where did you run off to? Poor Plessy, you alright? The perp has got to be close by. There's no one around, but the body is still warm. Maybe they passed us. We'd know if they did. It's a tight alley and there are 2 of us. Then maybe they flew off. Van points up to the sky above us. I look up from the darkened alley to the window of night beyond the rooftops. The sky looks up so much brighter than the town wrapped in darkness. For now, let's report to the station. After forensics is finished, we'll take him to the hospital. To the hospital? But he's dead already. The body is fresh enough we might be able to find some clues. The doctor can probably find us a lead. Doctor? You haven't met him yet, but he works with us open. If you want, you can observe the autopsy. The smell of disinfectant permeates the air as I walk into the hospital room. This particular room functions as a morgue, but it's barely passable. Everything looks old and outdated. I don't see any of the latest equipment like you might find in dramas. There are scalpels and other surgical tools, a bone saw, a chisel for digging into the skull or other bones. Is this place really okay for an autopsy? The man's corpse lies on the bed in front of me. The mark on his neck resembles some kind of bite wound. Could an animal have done this? But those wounds look just like Mom's. Could it be the same culprit? I need to get a closer look. I move my face closer to the body. Then, Who are you? I turn around to see a man standing in the entrance of the room. Something in his gaze strikes me. What a cold gaze! As if he can look straight into my heart. You aren't supposed to be here. Get out. You are? If you had proper manners, you would know to introduce yourself before asking my name. I'm Porpresa. I'm an investigator from the downtown police department. Oh, so you're the detective standing in on the autopsy. I'm Al. I'm the medical examiner who will be performing the autopsy. Dr. Al, pleased to make your acquaintance. I hold out my right hand, but I don't shake hands. Al passes by my outstretched hand to stand in front of the dead body. It appears he only cares about the corpse. Are all medical examiners this weird? I let out an audible sigh. Even so, Al's gaze remained focused on the dead body. His eyes wander over the corpse, but he never lifts a finger. 2 minutes passed, and then 5. When is he going to start the autopsy? I'll wait a bit longer. He must have found something important. Cause of death, blood loss from the wound on his neck. That's all. I'll return in my report later. The autopsy is finished. Wait a minute. You didn't even open up the body. There's no way you could complete an autopsy just by looking. My examination is complete. There was hardly anything. His blood type is O, Rh+. He may have chronic abdominal pain. He shows signs of having taken stomach medicine. Aside from that, he is exceedingly healthy. There are no other signs of abnormality. Satisfied? You're just making things up. You're a medical examiner. Do your job properly. You're supposed to cut open the body, check the organs, and report on your findings. Unnecessary. This is how I do it. If you are dissatisfied, talk with your superiors about it. With that, Al turns to leave the room. What a quack. Stop messing around. I've given my life to this one case and I finally have a lead. My mom was killed 16 years ago. I was just a kid, but I remember the incident. It was just like this. She was killed in my own home. There were holes in her neck and she had lost a lot of blood. Did you see who did it? Yes, my memory is a bit fuzzy, but I remember the person being exceptionally beautiful. Of course. What? Nothing. The autopsy is finished. You may leave now. I won't if you don't do the autopsy. I'm going to have to arrest you. Me? Under suspicion of forging documents. That's clearly what you've been doing. Making up reports to get some extra money, that's a crime. Money is not an issue. I'm only a volunteer here. You are no longer permitted to stand witness for autopsy. Don't ever come here again. What? Clearly, finished with the conversation, Al leaves the room. What is wrong with him? Fine, I'll do this myself. I pick up the scalpel. Upon doing so, oh, the tip of the scalpel nicks my finger, creating a small cut. Red blood wells up the beginning. Oops, stupid. I hear the sound of fabric moving behind me. I should be the only one in the room. Was that from behind me? No, there's only the body. I hear the sound of a sheet falling to the floor, the one covering the corpse. I've got a bad feeling about this. It's probably nothing, but just to be sure, I slowly look back. I look over my shoulder and see the dead body standing up. He's still alive. No, that's not possible. We confirmed his death before bringing him here. It's already been several hours since his time of death. There's no way he could come back to life now. Confused, I approach the body. I catch sight of a pair of sharp fangs peeking out from his open mouth. At the end of his silently outstretched arm, his fingernails have become sharp and claw-like. No matter how you look at it, this can't be normal. It's a monster. If I stay here, this thing could kill me. I've got my gun. The monster lumbers closer. Just like I practiced, I can do this. First, calm. Deep breath. Take aim. Safety off. Finger on the trigger. At a range this close, there's no way I can miss. Now! The shot rings through the room. The monster collapsed to the ground. I must have been on the edge. The knockback from the gun takes me by surprise. I stumble backward and fall to the ground. Ugh! That creature! I see the monster slowly rise back up from the shadows of the bed. You've gotta be kidding me. A gun couldn't stop this thing? The monster comes closer. I'm done for. Fear paralyzes my body. No, I don't want to die here. The monster continues its approach, raising its arm. Move! As I shout, the panic evaporates and my body moves. The monster swipes, claws, leaving deep gashes in the ground. If I hadn't moved, it would have been me. Those claws would have gone straight into me and taken out chunks of my flesh. The clear image of my own death overwhelms me. I find myself paralyzed in fear once again. I'm sorry. Mom? Dad? Filled with despair, I close my eyes as I prepare to meet my end. I hear the sounds of something being pierced. That's it. It doesn't hurt. Why do humans always close their eyes when trying to escape something they fear? You won't be able to understand what lies beneath the fear if you always close your eyes to it. I open my eyes to see Al standing before me. He has his back turned to me, but there's something off. And an arm had sprouted from the middle of his back. What is this? No! The arm of that monster has pierced the doctor all the way through. The sharp claws continue to wriggle and reach to my face. Blood spreads quickly from the hole in Al's back, staining his clothes a deep red. What an inconvenience. All because you had to come in and see the autopsy. He should be dying. How can he be so calm? So he's becoming a living dead then. Living dead? A puppet, lacking a mind of its own. Al gives the creature a light push, and it goes crashing into the opposite wall with a roar. He barely touched it. What a strength. Now, let's see who's controlling you. A move towards the monster. Holding it down with ease, he buries his head in the monster's neck. Up fear, I hear a faint sound like slurping or sucking. After a brief moment, Al lifts his head. The creature falls to the floor, its body disintegrating into ash, and Al turns towards me. A trail of red, a line of blood, runs down from the corner of Al's mouth to his chin. Beautiful. I should be scared, but for some reason, I'm not. Somehow that simple trail of red strikes me with a sense of beauty that I've never seen before. Disgusting. Ugh. Huh? Al falls to his knees. Without thinking, I rush to help him. Are you all right? What am I asking with an injury like that? He can't possibly be alright. What? Sorry? I want you. What are you talking about? Al looks imploring at me, lacking his previous cold-hearted demeanor. He's in a bad shape. I have to help him somehow. What should I do? Alright, tell me what you need. I don't understand what he wants, but I'll do what I can to help. Thank you. As soon as the words leave his mouth, Al's breath is against my neck, soft lips touching my skin. A sigh escapes my lips. How strange. A feeling more enchanting than anything I've ever felt before. It spreads throughout my entire body. It's sweeter than my first kiss. A tear falls down my cheek. So sweet, and yet there's something else too. A yearning for more. Then suddenly, pain shoots through my body. It hurts. Pain spreads from where Al's lips touch my neck. I can't see what he's doing, but I can feel everything in perfect detail. Teeth? His teeth are in my flesh. Sharp teeth pierce my neck, breaking the skin and sinking into the blood vessels below. His throat hums as my blood spills forth into his mouth. In that moment, images appear before me, images from a world I have never known. Why won't you understand? You're the one who doesn't understand. You haven't seen the real me. What's going on? Where am I? Who? Those eyes. I've seen those eyes. Al, let's die together. And if you can't do that, then become one with me. I want to make you mine and only mine. Al doesn't respond. What is this? Unbearable. Sadness. These feelings welling up inside me. I can't. It's too much. My eyes flash open to find a pair of cold eyes staring back at me. What was that just now? You were talking with someone. It seems so sad. You saw my past. Past? Memories are not attached to the body. They're more like spiritual essence that we carry with us. When I drank your blood, some of my memories must have slipped into your mind. My blood? He drank my blood? No! Only one thing comes to my mind. Are you a vampire? Yes, I'm a vampire. A vampire? But vampires can't be real, right? I don't believe you. The perpetrator for this homicide is also a vampire. You can tell by the trademark wound on the neck. And the blood is drained without any further injury having occurred. A human wouldn't do that. It couldn't. The blood is drained? Does this mean my mom was killed by a vampire? Al regards me quietly before relaxing his hold on my arms. I have to get out of here. Deciding to make a break for it, I shove him with all my strength. He doesn't budge. Instead, I find myself toppling over and nearly falling. Al reaches out and steadies me with his arm. You're weak from the blood loss. Stop! Let me go! Was it you? Are you the monster that killed my mom? It was not me, but it was my fault. What do you mean? If you want the truth, you must make a contract with me. A contract? A blood contract. Al takes off his shirt, revealing a slender-toned body. We are compatible. He looks chiseled like a statue, all lean muscles with nothing extra attached. The wound from before is gone. There isn't even a scar where the monster's arm pierced through his abdomen. All that is left is a smattering of blood. It would normally take a half day to heal such a wound, but with your blood, this is crazy. If you want to understand everything, make a pact with me. I need more of your blood. I need you. Why? Are you going to turn me into a vampire too? Or worse, a vampire that drank the man's blood and look what he turned into. Don't worry, if you don't wish to become a servant, you'll be safe from such a fate. As long as you don't fall in love with me. Why would I fall in love with you? It's been knowing to happen, but if you're confident that it won't, then you'll be fine. Al takes out a smartphone from his breast pocket. We'll establish the contract at my estate. If you want to get closer to the truth, give me your contact information. I'll send you my address. I give Al my email address. That will do. I'll deal with the body. With that, he exits the room, leaving me alone with a body twice dead. To think a creature out of myth and legend uses a smartphone. Van, what kind of person is that autopsy doctor? Was it Dr. Al in charge yesterday? Yes. I haven't interacted with him much personally, but I've heard that he's pretty eccentric. He only glanced at the corpse before making his autopsy report. So the rumors are true. You were lucky to be able to see that. Some people think he must be gifted somehow. No, it was the worst. Did something happen? You didn't hook up with him, did you? They say he's pretty handsome, but I hope you'd be more professional than that. He's a vampire. A vampire? Dr. Al? What do you mean? He drank my blood. What? Why? Apparently, we're compatible. Look, I don't need to hear about whatever little lovey-dovey escapades you went on last night. You've got it all wrong. I told you, he's a vampire. Well then, why aren't you a vampire now? You've heard the stories when a vampire sucks your blood, you become a vampire too, right? Well, you've been watching too many dramas. Either that or you need more sleep. Maybe both. Vampires don't exist in real life. And if they do, they're just another kind of bad guy that I'll have to show who's boss. Don't overdo it. You'll throw out your back, Grandpa Van. Don't underestimate the elderly Perplesa. I'm still kicking. I can take on a vampire or two. You only say that because you haven't met one. Apparently, they can get run through clean and the wounds heals right up just when them drinking someone's blood. Maybe Dr. Al knows a few magic tricks. Oh crap, I nearly forgot. I have a meeting with the chef today. We'll continue this conversation later. Be good, Perpresa. With that, Van leaves. What should I do? Well, I guess there's only one way to confirm the truth. I made my way north of downtown. As the town buildings behind me, I find myself entering the woodlands, driving through a dense forest. In the midst of the flourishing trees, I arrive at the destination. The smartphone GPS had a quite bit of trouble, but given there was only on the road, there weren't too many places it could have been. A house like this is out of the middle of the woods? When was this place built? A large stone mansion looms before me. The place looks like it could have been built over 100 years ago. There's definitely something weird about this place. As I get out of the car, I realize what's so strange about this place. I don't hear any sounds of wildlife. No birds, no insects, nothing. It's as if the entire forest has been frozen in time. It's like the whole place is under a spell. Nothing moves, nothing breathes. I hesitate as I stand by my car, park the gate and close to the entrance of the mansion. I have my beretta with me for a reassurance. It's safely tucked away in the holster at my waist. There's nothing for me to be afraid of. Approaching the entrance, I find a metal door knocker in the shape of a dragon. As I lift my hand for the door knocker, the door soundlessly opened from the inside. The sound escapes me before I can stop it. From the slightly open door, I see Al. The owner of the mansion is the forest frozen in time. He stands before me, cloaked in cold beauty. You came. Thanks for the invitation. Come in. Al opens the door wider for me to come in. The interior is an old-fashioned as the exterior. A large, ancient-looking chandelier hangs above the spacious entrance. A grand staircase like something you might find in an opera theater climbs into the air before me. I stop before two heavy doors that open outward, leading into some sort of parlor. What a beautiful home! My voice wavers. Am I nervous? I'll place a chilled hand on the small of my back, the gesture smooth and effortless. This way, he guides me through the door to the open doors at which I've been standing, and we enter the parlor beyond. A large portrait hangs at the front of the living room. That woman, she's the one I saw in Al's memories. This was painted about 200 years ago. 200 years ago? If that's true, you really are a vampire. Scared? Maybe a little. And yet you still came. For the contract. I'm here, aren't I? I just want to catch my mom's killer. You're not going to turn me into a vampire, aren't you? I have no intention of extending my bloodline. On the contrary, in fact, I must eradicate all the remains of it. Huh? Al's chilled gaze sears me, making my blood run cold. Looking into his eyes, it feels his words have come from deep well of darkness. You said your mother was murdered. It was Jean who killed her. Jean? Considering the time and method of her murder, I'm certain that the only one who could have done it is Jean. The woman who killed my mother? What is she to you? Someone I love. You love? She killed my mom. Just because you love her doesn't mean she can get off scot-free. Indeed, that's why I'm determined to destroy the person I once loved. Jean was dear to me, but now I know I must finish her with my own hands. Jean, I won't let her commit any more crimes. Where is she now? I don't know, but... I'll find out sooner or later. How? The living dead from yesterday. Having drank from him, I can follow the blood trail. Huh? Drinking from the blood of a living dead or another vampire allows me to trace its parent bloodline. The one that you found yesterday, there's a faint trace of Jean's bloodline from the vampire that turned it. If I can track down that vampire and feed on it, we can continue following the parent bloodline. Eventually, it will lead us to Jean. You want to catch your mother's killer, do you not? That's all I want. Well then, you must accept the mark of death on your neck. Mark of death? It's a sign of the blood contract. It is proof that you are mine. If another vampire sees the mark, they will know you belong to me. What? Why would I do such a thing? As I said before, we are compatible. Your blood fills me with tremendous power. Now, make the contract with me. I need you. To defeat Jean, I must have your blood. At this contract will not and this contract will not turn me into a vampire, correct? As long as you don't fall in love with me, you'll be safe from such a fate. My power alone is enough to find your mother's killer. Look at the two parameters that appear at the top of the screen. The vampire marks indicates how much blood you've given Al. The more blood you give, the stronger Al gets. When he fights with Jean, he will be able to use blood and strengthen himself. The heart mark indicates your feelings for Al, and the meter will go up as you increase your affection for him. How much love Al will affect to your relationship with him in the end. Based on your choices, the parameter will shift open and different endings for you to enjoy. Fine. Give me this mark of death then. Thank you for allowing me to fulfill my wish. I'll be able to fulfill Jean my own hands. When that time comes, Al closes the distance between us. He rests his hand on the small of my back, as if getting ready to guide me in a dance. With him close to me, it's difficult for me not to notice his stunning beauty. His eyes seem to look right through me. It appears you're ready. Al presses his lips against my neck. A feeling of sweetness envelops my entire body. This is my second time, yet the feeling is no less intense, no less irresistible. A feeling of need wells up from the depths of my body. My body tenses as the sweetness turns to pain. But what follows next is even more powerful. Al, he's inside of me. I can feel his mind inside of me. Jean, so this is where you've been. Al. Jean stands in front of the bedroom window, looking up at the moon. Al watches her from behind as she continues to gaze up the moon. So this is Jean. Her figure blurs, becoming difficult to see. Al, must we destroy ourselves? Is that to be our fate? Jean, please understand, we do not belong here anymore. The night we once knew no longer exists in this world. We can leave it all behind, together. Al, we are immortal beings, are we not? We should be able to enjoy eternal life together. The humans invaded our home. We should return the favor. Let us take back the night with our own hands. Jean, Al, this is also for your sake. Jean turns and embraces Al's lips, tracing his neck. A bittersweet ache tears at my heart. These are Al's memories, but I can feel what he feels. He loves her so much. The memory is starting to fade, but I want to understand more. What should I do? My consciousness becomes hazy. I find myself once more in the mansion. Al dabs the corner of his lips with a handkerchief. Al drank my blood. I felt side of my neck but no trace of the bite. You really drank my blood? Humans are unable to detect the mark of death. And this will get me closer to Jean, the person who killed my mother. As long as we find someone Jean has turned, but even if you find Jean, you should stay away from her. You can't win against a vampire. You're not going to do anything? We made a contract. Won't you protect me? Al looks amused. It's the first time I see him smile. His icy demeanor melts ever so slightly.